a hooker by trade, but has some really good characteristics around the breakdown which make him suited to play there. But if you look to the back line, I think young Masesi Tuipulotu, Haloti Whenua, Jordan Hobbs, these sort of guys that can really open a game up. If they can get some front foot ball from the forward pack and some time and space on the outside, then I think we should see some good things from them. Well,
we're about to find out that we're underway here. Jasper Mellish, the Queensland fullback, getting us started. And Melbourne collected deep inside their own 22. And it's going to be Isaac Adu-Kalia with the first hit up of the day, as they look like they're going to try and clear and work for territory here early on. And that is a pretty handy nudge there, but it hasn't gone out. It's over halfway. So Queensland get first use of the ball, and it's Bruce Tavega hitting up inside the Victorian half, but he's lost it in contact. So an early win there for Victoria, and you can see the forwards getting around each other, and that's a good platform to start off this match. Couple of big boys out there, Nick. They look bigger in schoolboys these days than when you were running around.
I don't actually think I was actually good enough to make a schoolboys rep team in Union. I was actually a leaguey by trade growing up through school, and thankfully I didn't have to run around against guys like this. They were a lot sort of slimmer in league.
And that one just collapsing early on. Maybe a slip there from the front row of Victoria. They've reset the scrum here at St Ignatius Riverview College. And there it is, an early engagement. So that's a free kick to the Victorian side, and number 8 trucks it up towards halfway, and early ball out the back now. So the backs get their first chance to show what they've got, and tries to square it up, and he gets past one, but he's going to get brought down just before halfway. Hunt goes in at half-back and spreads it out towards the left-hand side, and he's there again. But Queensland go looking for it, but they might have knocked it on. They have. Trying to steal it there at the breakdown, but a small knock on. But handy work there from Harrison Fox. He was right through that clean-out. He was very accurate and got both hands on the ball, but a bit of pressure from the Victorian scrum half forcing a knock on. So another scrum here. Right in midfield on the 10-metre line of Victoria's defensive half. Great camera work there, got us right inside that scrum, and the number 8 picks it up from the back and comes towards this broadcast side. Pick and go here. And they might have forced a turnover, the Queensland side. Hunt spreads it to the left-hand side. Some good footwork there from the Victorian forwards. Hunt's getting quick ball here, and he's up over halfway. The referee playing an advantage here for Victoria. The Queensland side unable to roll away there, and they look to play on quickly, but the ball's been put down by Josh Canane, but he's managed to clean up after himself, and Hunt's now going into scrum half and spreads it out to the right-hand side, and some great interplay from the forwards, and they're rumbling here, the Victorian side. They're about 30 metres out from the Queensland 2 try line as they look to get a turnover. They might have done it, the Queensland side, but the referee spots a penalty. Very unlucky. I think it was Harrison Fox again at the breakdown. Nick Henderson, that one could have gone either way.
Yeah, I do. I agree with you. I think it was hard done by there. He had all rights to the football. Probably quite lucky for us to get away there with the ball still in our hands at the moment. But some really good carries there by the Victorian forwards. You know, certainly trying to find space with those little tip balls, getting in and around that Queensland forward pack, which is allowing our backs to play a little bit more on the front foot.
Some great skills from the forwards there. Really sort of a thing that's, I guess, become more prevalent in the game in the last sort of decade is the forwards using those tip passes as well. It creates so much more second phase options.
It does, yeah, and you see Josh Cannon there sort of linking a lot of the time with the backs, and Josh is from a basketball background, so he's got really good hand-eye coordination. He's a really tall young man, and he's learning his trade as a tight 5 forward in rugby, but he's he's certainly got some good skills in terms of catch pass.
And there he is, Josh Cunningham, just there, tipped to that one off there, and he goes in doing some of the dirty work at the breakdown and helps the ball come back for Hunt. And here comes the ball out to the right-hand side, and there's some footwork here from Whanua. And he drops the ball back inside to Tuipulotu. And Hunt goes in at half-back and gives it to the hooker. Charlie Carter carts it up, and some heavy contact there from Queensland. The defence holding strong here for the moment. But Victoria, they're looking to play the ball wide. And it's in the hands now of Jordan Hobbs, and he's just short. And it looks like they might have forced a turnover. They have a knock-on in contact, but geez, some fantastic lead-up work there from Victoria. They're not afraid to throw the ball around and try and play some really attractive running rugby. An impressive start so far from Victoria, Hendo.
It has been, yeah. I mean, they've obviously targeted a few areas there from Queensland too, from day one, that they've recognised as potential opportunities to get on the outside of them. But we saw from Queensland too there, I guess, some really good cover defence to force that mistake 5 metres out.
Oh, and a great scrum there from Victoria. And you can see the forwards, they're very happy with their work there.
Yeah, some great pressure there from the right-hand side to certainly put the Queensland scrum on the back foot, force that potential turnover. Obviously gives our young Charlie there at number 7 a bit of a chance to get off the scrum and put some pressure on the 10.
So the halfback for Queensland 2, Cullen Cooper-Jones. But there's been an early engagement, I think, from Victoria that time. Yeah, big boys, aren't they? The front row for Queensland, that's Romeo Taniela in the number 18 jersey. And Kotahi Hetaraka in the 19. And the ball hasn't gone out, so here's another opportunity for the Victorian backs to show us what they've got. And the ball skipped out here to Tabua. Tabua's on the outside. He gets the offload back on the inside. But the touch, he said, he's gone out first. And perhaps a little bit eager there, the Victorian side. They might need a little bit more composure. They've had all the possession so far. And if they can just be a little bit more composed, you might fancy they'd find first points. Sam Finicario throws in from Queensland 2, but it's an overthrow, and it is cleaned up, though, by Queensland 2. And this is their first real chance with the football for some time, and a Shepherd there running in behind. So a decision here for Victoria. Do they take the 3 or push on for a try? And they're going to take the scrum, Hendo. They've been dominant so far in that area.
Yeah, and it's certainly a great call when you get down this end of the field to have a scrum midfield. Certainly allows both options from set piece, depending on how the scrum turns out to attack from, and obviously you're going to put the Queensland backline under a little bit of pressure.
You find they're just working their way into this one, Victoria. They've had all the ball and all the possession so far. Still yet to score, but you just get the feeling that it's not too far away. Hunt feeds the scrum, and it comes out. A good rake from the hooker, and off the back there, the number 8, Ado Kalia, goes on a run and gets some early ball back for Hunt, and Tuipulotu decides to kick through for the Chasers, but it's been knocked on there by the Queensland 2 fullback. So unfortunately, it was Tuilagi, I think, back there, or perhaps it was Jack Bauer. My apologies, Jack Bauer there didn't manage to clean up that kick through from Tuipulotu. But an interesting choice to put the kick through behind early on.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a choice I would have made, but it's certainly paid off for them. A scrum still 5 metres out in that right-hand side of the field. But ideally, I think you'd like to keep ball in hand there and try and put them under some pressure, some sustained pressure.
Kai Kearns and Hunt having a discussion, and Hunt feeds it, and no doubt Kearns will be looking for the ball here nice and early off the back of the scrum, and that's where it ends up, in the hands of Kearns, and he spreads it even wider, and it's just nice, beautiful short ball and some great footwork. Haloti Whanua, beautiful set play there from Victoria, and that's the first 5-pointer of the match.
Yeah, I think that's certainly come off the back of some hard running lines, and I think they've fallen into the trap there earlier on of just shifting the ball across field without being direct, and You know, at this level, you can't just run around teams. It takes quite a lot of pace to do that, but being direct certainly challenges individual defenders to make their tackles. And as we saw there, fall off one and allow that space in behind to get over the try line.
Yeah, that was beautiful play from Hunt to Kearns to Hobbs. And finally, Fanua on that straight line. Like you said, squaring up the defence, who was looking to perhaps cover their far sideline. And a great left foot step there from Fanua.
He does. He does have great footwork. It's obviously been a strength of his. Comes from a bit of a mixed background of 15s and 7s, so he's certainly got some good attacking skills. And we're probably about to find out too, in terms of our exits now, how well we can get out of our own half.
Kearns makes no mistake with the extras, so that's 7-0 to Victoria over Queensland 2 here at the Australian Schools Rugby Championships. Like we said earlier in the call, both of these sides looking for their first wins of the championship. So we're back underway, and Victoria safe under the restart. And like they did the first time, they look to clear through the boot. But they only get it as far as Grant to a Samoa. And now they've got a bit of space here, Queensland. Joshua Fluke making good metres down this near side. So they work back towards centre field now. Cooper Jones in at halfback. And they might have numbers out here. And they bring it back into contact through Francis Pona. 5 metres out, looking for a quick reply here. Queensland 2, as the forwards try to truck it up. Cooper Jones in there now. He's still pick and drive from the Queensland side. They're 1 metre short. That might be it. Oh, the ball's still coming back. They're going again. The referee's having a good look. He can't see it over the line. And it's held up. The Victorian defence holding strong. Sometimes your defence like that and saving a try can mean just as much as scoring one, Hendo.
Yeah, you get the feeling there if Queensland can just sort of clear past the ball and get that recycle time a little bit quicker, that they would have had Victoria under all sorts of pressure there. But by slowing it down, they're enabling them to get set, get their shoulders low, and certainly put their bodies on the line to stop that from getting over the try line.
It's our first time we've seen Queensland 2 in an attacking position today. And there's another great opportunity for them to hit back on the scoreboard as Cooper Jones goes searching for it at the back of the scrum, and it comes to the outside now, and they're going to do well to stop them here, Victoria, but they have. That's Fanua getting involved again, this time in defence. And a nice short ball, there he is, Taniela, and he's brought down 2 metres short as they continue to press down this short side. Oh, they've held him up and they're trying to push him towards the sideline.
14 high tackle.
But the referee's pinning Fanua there for a high tackle. So the Queensland side with a chance to set up here. Taniela looks ready to go, and he's got it now, Taniela. And they bring him back, holding him 2 metres short. They spread it out now to the right-hand side. A little bit disjointed at the moment, Queensland 2. Oh, it might have been a knock on there, but it has been. So it's a turnover. Victoria holding on their defensive line. And Kearns wants the ball. He's going to have to clear it through the boot again. And he hasn't made it just a fine touch. It's still there. It's bounced back inside in Queensland 2. They picked it up. And it's in the hands of Grant to a Samoa. He's brought down 5 metres short. Victoria trying to hold on. Queensland on the outside now. And they've managed to get it out to one of their flyers. And he steps back on the inside, showing great footwork. There was Daniel Atkinson. Oh, Cooper Jones tried to go himself, but he lost the ball forward. And Hendo, was sort of seeing from Queensland 2 what we saw initially from Victoria when they first had attacking opportunities, just a little bit lacking in composure.
Yeah, it just seems a bit frantic down there, and possibly not getting numbers to the ball either, and sort of players holding width and waiting for the ball to come to them, which is good. But obviously, you need to resource the breakdown to get some continuity in that attacking 22.
We've also seen Kearns' clearance kicks, Kai Kearns, the fly half for Victoria, not find touch. No doubt this time he'll be looking to do so and reset. So we'll see how we go. Isaac Hunt now with the ball, and he gets it out. Oh, and there might be a high tackle there from Queensland. So advantage for Victoria.
Thank you, sir. Go. 12.
And there's clearance there from Hunt,
12.
resulting in the referee blowing the penalty. So a little bit of a chance here from Victoria to collect themselves and find touch and set up again.
You'd have to think, Matty, you're looking at both attacking teams at the moment, but they both look more dangerous when they're being more direct. And it starts to get a little bit frantic and they lose control of the attacking space when they're sort of trying to shuffle the ball to width. So maybe for these sort of first sort of 20 minutes, we'd like to see both teams sort of get on the front foot by being more direct and attacking that opposition defensive line.
That's the inside word from Nick Henderson, former Wallabies prop. Not Waratahs prop, as we established early on in the call.
Correct.
And now working with these boys in Victorian rugby in their development. So they get another chance here, but it's been pinched at the line out by Harrison Fox, but it's been knocked on. So Victoria with another chance here. Oh, and that's a great step, great footwork from the Rebels forwards. As the ball spills out the side of the ruck, and Queensland come away with it. And they put it on the toe. And they're in the lead of the chase here. It's a foot race now for the ball. And he's missed it. And the referee's going to have a look at this, I think. Absolutely flying down this near touchline was Joshua Fluke. It looked like Jordan Hobbs had it covered, but the referee's going to have another look as you see the clearing kick here come through. And there's Joshua Fluke absolutely flying, and he gets the toe to it. And as Fanua went to clear it, he missed it, and Fluke almost fell on it and stole a try. And it's going to be a 5-metre scrum to Queensland, and that was a 60-metre gain for Queensland too.
Yeah, it's certainly a big turnaround in terms of field position. So, 5-metre scrum, left-hand side of the field. It's a great attacking platform for them.
We saw them down here just a couple of minutes ago, and they're unable to come away with points. Queensland 2 still searching for first points of this match, and that's a great tackle there from Kai Kearns. One-on-one on his own 5-metre line as Queensland come back towards this side through Taniela. He's a big boy. He's proved hard to stop so far. And they might have turned it over here again. They've ripped it from Taniela. Victoria, so superb defensive line. Defence there, and there's claps here in the commentary box from Hendo. He's loved that. And Victoria are going to get a chance to clear their lines again. And we were impressed with their attacking work down here inside their attacking 22, but their defensive line has been unbreakable.
Yeah, well, I think judging by day one's results, that it certainly needed to improve. And I think what we're seeing today is a little bit more attention to their own individual tackle. And certainly putting their bodies in front of what are bigger players than them. So it's pleasing to see, because Sunday, was obviously a big issue for us with one-on-one tackles in our defensive structure.
And a good kick again from Kearns. He's getting good metres off that right boot. And that's a missed throw there off the line out, an absolute coach killer. And running it up is Halapio. He gets to the 10-metre line, and Cooper Jones comes back towards this side. It's in the hands now of Sam Finocario. Out to the right now, the forwards linking up with the backs, and crunched there, and a heavy tackle was William McPherson. Cooper Jones spreads it out to the right-hand side. Good pass from Cooper Jones, and tipped on there nicely by Francis Pona. Oh, great pass to the line there from the forwards. Cooper Jones gets it out to the fullback, Jasper Mellish, who spreads it even wider. And brought down there by his ankles was Heteraka. Oh, hidden spin there, Harrison Fox. The Reds showing good patience here at the moment, the Queensland 2 side. They might have numbers out to this right-hand side as the ball hits the deck. And now it's put on the toe by Jack Bauer. And the ball is allowed to run into touch on the 22 line on the far side, Hendo, and better play there from Queensland.
Yeah, you see them running some really good direct lines off 9 there down that short side and then reloading and sort of looking for that one pass wider from either a forward in at 10 or the 10 in there. And it's certainly opening up some opportunities for them if they keep going around that same edge of the field.
Like you mentioned before, they have been a little bit guilty of going sideline to sideline as we see Peter Halapio coming from the field, replaced by JP Tomanico. And they get up here and secure this line out. A better line out there from Victoria, and a nice crash ball there from Tui Pelotu. Gets Victoria to their 22 as Kearns calls for the ball, but this one's not going to find touch either. Happy to give the ball back to Queensland, seemingly Victoria. And here comes Mellish. She's been good so far as that ball was very, very flat to Tui Samoa. And some counter-rucking here from
Red feet still going forward.
From Victoria, but the referee decided the ball wasn't coming out of there, and Queensland's going to get another chance to build off the back of this scrum just outside the 22-metre line in their attacking half. Thoughts so far, Hendo, on this one?
Yeah, I mean, the first sort of 5 minutes were pretty frantic. We've now set it into a bit of a contest here, haven't we? In this, the Queensland 2's attacking half of the field, and I think considering the amount of possession they've had here, you'd think that points are potentially about to come if they can just sort of get quicker ball at the breakdown and allow them to play on the front foot a bit more, and certainly put that Victorian defensive line under a little bit more pressure. Just seems a little bit slow at the moment, allowing Victoria to get set, get their spacing and width and start to problem solve. I'd like to see Queensland 2 probably put them under a little bit more pressure.
And they've got a good platform here. Cooper Jones seems to be getting faster ball, and his passes seem to be coming with a little bit more zing in the second half of this first half. And here he is now spreading it back towards centre field, and it's with Mellish, who seems to be playing a lot of first receiver at the moment. And they're trying to get it out here to Boya with a bit of space, but it was good defensive line pressure from Victoria, but they've been penalised there as Mellish takes the ball. And I think they'll look to find touch here and use their line out.
You'd have to think if that kick gets inside the 22, we're definitely going to look to see a Queensland 2 rolling maul. Something that we haven't seen yet this game. With that kick sort of landing 15 metres from the try line, that's certainly a good attacking weapon for them.
And they've got those big boys in the forward pack there. You can see Taniela at the front of that line out. And Harrison Fox, the number 4 there, who gets up and brings it down. And as you said, Hendo, they won't look for the rolling maul. Looked like they might. And the ball there went behind to Vega, and he's dropped it. So the first knock on, as you heard there through the ref mic, from Queensland 2. A real missed opportunity there. They looked like they were building something nicer, and they looked like they were going to set up for that rolling maul, and then must have got a call from out the back.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because a lot of teams will, run sort of options off their line out maul based on the fact that they've mauled previously. The first opportunity they saw down there inside that 22, they decided to run a little play off the back and crash number 8 up, and it hasn't paid off, but it's going to get Victoria wondering. It's going to get them starting to look for those opportunities and maybe not commit to them all. So we'll probably look at next time they come down here that if they get that same opportunity again, you would have to think they're probably going to look to maul there.
So Hunt feeds the scrum, and Victoria been under a lot of pressure the last 10 minutes. So great run up through the middle. It's a great ball and a great straight line to Polovic, and he is crunched from the side, but he manages to get up and give it to Hunt. Hunt finds a run on the outside. It's Fanoa again. He beats 1, he beats 2. He's trying to duck under a couple of tackles. He's still going. He was looking for a double, and this game has suddenly come to life, and Victoria are pushing for their second try. Hunt gets some fast ball out. Carter falls 5 metres short. Hunt out to Tui Pilotta, who started this attacking rage. He runs out of space, but the referee's playing advantage for offside.
And again, that's all come off the back of straight hard running with Masesi Tuipulotu really cutting through the Queensland 2 defensive line.
Here he is, Tui Pilotta. He was into the backfield. He gets blindsided from the Queensland winger coming across. You see him here. He's looking on the inside and whooshka, knocked off his feet.
Yeah, great cover defence there from young Daniel Atkinson. He's worked hard to get from his opposite wing there to cover that. Certainly a try-scoring opportunity that's gone begging, but some great attacking work from Victoria.
And the referee giving Queensland 2 what seemed like a warning there with the discipline. It could be a final warning before a further sanction, as they're going to take a gift 3 points right in front. Kai Kearns, who knocked one over from a similar position after the first try, looking to extend their lead to 10 points. And thoughts on this decision, Hendo?
Oh, look, I think to go, potentially to go 10-0 up with 2 or 3 minutes left in the half is probably a good option to take. Young Kai, a bit of an interesting factor around young Kai is the son of Australian rugby legend Robbie Kearns. He's got a very calm head on his shoulders and makes really good decisions under pressure. And it's great to see the sons of a rugby league legend playing rugby union.
Absolutely, he's been instrumental so far in this first half here at St. Ignatius Riverview, and he makes no mistakes. That's 2 from 2 for Kai Kearns, a conversion from Fonua's try and 3 points for the penalty. So Victoria, after sustained pressure from Queensland 2, they weren't able to get any points. So Victoria get up the other end and knock over 3 points, and a 10-0 lead now. With, as you said, Hendo, just over 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Of course, 30-minute halves here at this Australian Schools Championships for 2018 is collected there by Victoria, and again they're happy to use the boot for touch, and another good touch finder.
Yeah, and that's where we got into trouble last time in that first try of the game. After that, we weren't able to exit properly. Queensland 2 in our half for the next 10 to 15 minutes, and to just to settle the nerves, get field position off that kickoff really allows a team to settle back into trying to get out of their own half.
Good clean line out there, collected by Reece Mace. Oh, and a big run. He's knocked over a couple on his way, Bruce Tavega. That'll show up on the highlights reel, that one, as they come out to Mace again. And he trucks it up. He's about 25 metres out, right in the centre of St. Ignatius Riverview College field. As they are starting to rumble a little bit here, Queensland, but Cooper Jones, I thought he knocked it on, but the referee says play on. There's an opportunity here for Victoria if they can spread it out wide. Will they get quick ball? Hunt gets in at scrum half, and that's the way he goes, out to the left-hand side. Oh, and the ball's in the hand of Kearns, and he gives it out to Tui Pilotta. Tui Pilotta throws the dummy and brought down just over halfway. So Victoria now trying to capitalise on that turnover. Hunt, Tui Pilotta, and Tui Pilotta throws it to no one. So a little bit of confusion out there in the backs of Victoria, but another opportunity goes begging, Hendo.
Yeah, you can just tell with the 2 minutes left in this half that both teams are starting to tire here. The communication levels have dropped down. The on-field chat is certainly starting to drop off, and we're just seeing little mistakes like that start to creep into the game.
We'll see Bruce Cannonball to Vega running it up from 15 metres in front of you. Look out, you might need to take a trip to the dentist.
I think I'll get out of the way, thanks.
As here he is to Vega again. He bobs off a couple. The Victorian boys, they're not missing him. Cooper Jones now comes out to this right-hand side, and it's Bowyer again, and he gets a nice ball out the back just as he was hitting contact. Oh, and a strong counter up there from the Victorian side. They might have forced a turnover again. Queensland holding on just at the breakdown there. The ball comes back inside towards centre field, and Carter there rushing out of the line manages to slow down the Queensland 2 attack. As they come up through the centre, and he's all over the ball there. Josh Canham, but the referees pinned him. Unlucky there from Canham. It looks like Great opportunity for a pilfer.
So to maintain feet 5 blue.
You heard it there from the ref, nice and clear. So Queensland with one last, you'd fancy attacking raid before the end of the first half as Cooper Jones finds touch about 30 metres out on this broadcast side. Queensland looking for their first points. Oh, and nearly a steal there from Victoria, but Queensland 2 hold on to it, and Mellish, the ball a little bit over his head, but he manages to brush away from Carter. Eventually he's brought down just in front of halfway, and nice defensive work there from the scrum half, Victorian scrum half Hunt. And there's a little bit of indecision from Queensland, but it's ended up in the hands of Tui Samoa, and he takes it over the 22 and it pops out. And it's in the hands now of Garati. As they go out to the right. This will be the last play of the half, you'd fancy. So a mistake now, and it'll be the end of the first half, and it was a mistake. And Victoria says, let's go to the Oranges. Half time here, St Ignatius Riverview College. Victoria 10, Queensland 2, Hendo. An enthralling half of footy.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that sort of middle part of the half was a really good contest there, with Queensland 2 putting a lot of pressure on Victoria down in that attacking 50. Both teams looking dangerous with ball in hand when they're direct, with good hard running runners at inside shoulders. Where we start to see the game get a little bit loose is when we start to shift the ball wide and try and get on the outside of the opposition. So potentially there'll be some chat now with the coaches at half time around being a little bit more direct, getting front foot ball, and then looking to play off that rather than trying to do everything on the first phase around the opposition.
Victoria in front on the scoreboard 10-0, but it's been their defensive work on their own line that's been really impressive. Queensland were camped down there for a good 5 minutes and didn't come away with any points. What can that do for a team, you know, knowing that they can be strong on their own line? Yeah,
well, I coached with Simon Cron last year, and he used to talk about it's the emotional energy of a team, and you know, defensive efforts like that, where you defend your try line for 5 minutes, can actually do wonders for a team, because you harness that emotional energy to give you the lift you need to then exit and get down in the opposition 50 to start attacking and playing some footy. And there's moments in the game where that emotional energy starts to bubble over, and it's the teams that harness it and take it and use it inwardly that tend to control the game more.
It's been very, very impressive work from Victoria. Both these sides looking for their first wins of the championship so far, and we'll go to a short break here at half time, and we'll be back for the second half action in just a moment. Welcome back to live coverage of the Australian Schools Championship on Rugby.com.au. Victoria taking on Queensland 2 here at St Ignatius Riverview College. Victoria 10-0 up at half-time. My name's Marty Cambridge. I'm joined by Nick Henderson here for the call. And it's going to be Kai Kearns, who's been influential so far for the Victorian side to get us underway. And it was an absolutely enticing first half an hour of footy as Kearns goes long, playing for territory here early. The ball's taken to ground there, just on the 22-metre line. As Victoria come out, looking to pin Queensland inside their 22 as they come out to the left-hand side with the clear, but it's been charged down. Victoria with a great chance to open the scoring in the second half. And I'm sure that pleases you deep down inside, Henderson. It's Nicholas Rooston, the prop, crossing for Victoria's second.
I think everyone gets happy when we see a prop score a try, especially off a charge down kick. But some really great work there to put some pressure on the exit there. Just take your chances from what you create, and just a really nice little offload there from Kai to Nick to score that try.
Yeah, small juggle there from the Queensland kicker. It was all it took, and superb work there from the Victorian defence. They've been strong all afternoon so far. And as you said, good awareness there from Kearns to know that Rooston was on his outside and just popped it up. And the prop didn't have to go far, luckily. No,
we never do. We're not quite quick enough. But, again, a reasonably good exit there from Queensland, using young Bruce Tavaga to really carry that team forward to look for that kick. And we obviously saw him fairly influential there off some of the attacking phases there from Queensland too. So in the second half we should see plenty more of Bruce.
As Kearns lines it up, but it's just away to the right-hand side. So a 15-0 lead now. 2 minutes gone in the second half.
So the conversion is unsuccessful.
And we see there also, Hendo, the joy they got out of kicking long off the restart. You've got obviously the choice to go short to compete, or go long and use the field position as your friend, and paying dividends for the Victorian side that time.
Yeah, it did, and that's obviously from a bit of pressure applied to the kicker. So it's our opportunity now to exit and make sure that we don't have the same pressure put on us.
Jacob Beaumont very safe under the high ball there for Victoria as they look to get it out, but it's been knocked on. A soft error there in their exit, Victoria.
Spoke too soon.
And this is where we did see them get in a little bit of trouble in the first half. After they scored their first try, they had trouble exiting, and Queensland were pinned on their try line but unable to cross. Will it be any different in the second half?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Queensland play. I mean, obviously in that first half we saw them try to go around Victoria and get to the edges. And as we spoke about earlier, Marty, just the teams that were having most success were the teams that were playing direct. So this first launch play from this midfield scrum will be interesting.
Referee will reset that one there, as looks like Queensland 2 have made a couple of changes at half time, bringing on William Kirk at halfback. You can see him there with the ball in hand now. Wouldn't mind seeing big Bruce Cannonball Tavaga take this off the back of the scrum if he gets a chance, but it's going to come wide out to Francis Pona. As they head up that side now, Kirk out to Crothers. Another one with his first involvement of this match as Kirk goes back to the far side now, and great offload off the deck. Ends up back in the hands of Kirk, and he finds an offload too, and it is Tavaga now with the ball, but he's driven back. For the first time in this match, we see Tavaga going backwards as Kirk brings it out wide now, and it's in the hands of Tominico. And they're all over it here, Victoria. Will the referee reward them? Not this time. Kirk, and it's out now to Pona. Oh, and it's been pinched in the breakdown. Great work there. I think it was Charlie Carter. Victoria looked to make the most and spread the ball early. And they're just waiting for Hunt to get in position. He does now, and they've kicked it straight down the centre field. Bit of a nothing option, and he gives a chance to run for Jordan Carrera, and he gives it out to Tumavave. Tumavave gives it back. He comes out towards this broadcast side, steps back inside. Gee, he's got fast feet, Carrera, and he's brought down eventually about 15 short. Here's Kirk now. He sets his options to the right, comes back to the left, and the props there linking up through Domenico and Tumavave. Pick and go. 1 metre short now, Queensland 2. Searching for their first points as Kirk tries to go himself. He's brought down short. Or it wasn't Kirk, sorry. On here they go off the back of the ruck. They'll be tough to stop. And that is a try for Queensland 2. JP Tomanico comes up with the ball and comes up with 5 points for his side.
Yeah, and all that off the back of a really poor kick there, Marty. You just can't afford to give good attacking teams, a kick into midfield to launch their counter-attack from. So, probably got what it deserved. In saying that, Victoria were good enough there to hold them out for sort of 7+ phases, which, most teams potentially find an opportunity there to get the ball back. However, Queensland 2, through their larger forwards, were able to just dominate that game line and get over the try line.
Very hard to stop JP Tomanico that close to the line. And we saw there, Hendo, our first real look at Jordan Carrera this afternoon, and he collected that kick that landed in the midfield, and he looks very impressive, very quick.
He does, Marty, and he's obviously got good feet there. Certainly going to be a danger in attack if the ball keeps getting kicked down midfield for him to launch counter from. Ideally, you like to get the ball away from guys like that and try and find space, allow your defensive line to move forward and, take away field position from them.
Atkinson adds the extras for Queensland 2. So they hit back and get their first points of the afternoon, and this is going to be a real contest. You fancy for the next 20 minutes now. It's going to be Kai Kearns to get us back underway, and again they kick down to that far right-hand side. Oh, and a good run here from Queensland 2 as they head up towards the 10-metre line. They step back inside and brought down right on that 10-metre line as Kirk goes into scrum half. Victoria might have crept forward there, but the referee says play on as they kick him behind. And it's collected nicely there by Fanua, who puts it on the toe straight away, and he's chasing his own kick down. He's got Kirk pinned on the 5-metre line. And Kirk does the safe option and finds a fair bit of ground in the end, Hendo.
Yeah, he's done quite well there, young Kirk. I mean, he's tough kick into that back right-hand corner, otherwise known as a graveyard, but he's managed to chew off some meterage and get them back towards the 40-metre line, which relieves a lot of pressure from the defensive team.
We've seen both sides struggle with their line-outs in the first half of this match, so we'll see if they get any better here. But that one's gone over again, but it's been brought down by Victoria, but I think it's gone forward off the hands. And the referee agrees with that observation, so a little bit scrappy there from Victoria.
Yeah, a bit of a let-off there for Queensland too, and both teams, as you said, Marty, have been quite poor in terms of their efficiency at line-out time. So it's not something you want to see, especially in that attacking 40-metre zone, is to be giving away, turnover ball from a good launch platform like that.
Kirk feeds a scrum, and it's a rifling pass out to Pona, and Queensland spots some space outside here. And he holds it himself, he's still going. Back inside, one more pass. This will be one of the tries of the tournament. William Kirk. What a try from Queensland too. Absolutely sensational stuff. We saw Daniel Atkinson in full flight. The ball comes outside here, and here he is. Atkinson gets the ball now, and he's only 30 metres out. He holds the ball well, throws the dummy to Bayou. Ends up going back inside to Fluke, who finds Pona and William Kirk backing up like all good scrum halves should. Gets a 5-pointer under the black dot. Sensational work, Queensland 2, and they're well and truly back in this. It's a 3-point ball game, but you'll fancy Atkinson to knock this over, and it'll be back to a 1-point ball game.
Yeah, fantastic work there from young William Kirk. Fed the scrum, got the pass away, and then backed up midfield. A lot of players probably take themselves out of the game by sort of, not anticipating that line break, but he put himself in a great position midfield to receive that last pass to put it down on the black dot.
So Atkinson does knock the 2 points over, and
Queensland 2-14, trail Victoria.
Queensland starting to find their voice here and find the try line. That was 2 quick tries for Queensland 2, and their bench having a real impact with the changes they made at half-time, as again they go for that same corner, and a clinical exit there from Queensland 2, and there'll be another line out here for Victoria just on the attacking side of the 10-metre line.
Yeah, pretty much in the same field position as before, Marty. Hopefully the line execution this time will be better though.
Jacob Beaumont to throw in for Victoria. They have had a couple of issues, and this time they go short. And the ball comes out to centre field. Oh, great run there, up the middle, a great line and a great offload. As Hunt comes into half-back, and Tuipulotu tries to palm away from his opposite number, but he's brought down as they look to play a little bit more direct here, the Victorian boys. And they go out to the right-hand side. Kern spotting some space out there, and he gets it to Hobbs. Hobbs brought down as Queensland are lucky there. They're throwing the ball down quite well on the breakdown, and they might have stolen it. They haven't.
Got to this area again.
And a yellow card there for Queensland 2. We saw the referee give them a warning in the first half, and there's been some cynical behaviour at the breakdown again.
This way.
So Queensland will play with 14.
Great option now, Marty, having a forward in the bin that you'd think Victoria kick for touch and look for their rolling maul to potentially, work over a 7-man Queensland 2 forward pack.
We thought we were going to see a rolling maul from this field position in the first half, but Queensland chose to
Doesn't look like it now either.
run a different play, and they've lost the line out again. Great work from the defensive line out of Queensland 2, and they want to play through the hands here. And a big hit in contact. Strong work there from Hunt. But he's got to roll away at the breakdown, and he has done. So Queensland 2 now. And it's been knocked on. A poor pass there, but Victoria picked it up, and they're looking for space. A great pass there, and it's out now, and they're getting a score again. You fancy a try, I think, to Tuilagi. He's been held up. Unbelievable defensive work there from Queensland. He looked like he was over for all money. This pass here, falling to the ground. Vavasa Tuiala. And that is sensational work from the two Queensland 2 wingers. Carrera and Atkinson combining
Just have to drop one at the back.
to stop Tuilagi.
No, number 8.
As Taniela gets ready to come back on, he just ran past us here in the commentary box, and the whole ground shook.
Yes.
I had to put my headphones back on.
He's certainly a big young man, and obviously with a prop in the bin, we've got to replace someone, so you'd look to see one of the back rollers potentially come off here.
Keep your eye out for Romeo Taniela. Here he is, number 18. He just crossed your screen then. As Hunt's going to feed this
Drop one. Red, you have to drop one. It's a yellow card. No, you have 15 on the field.
The referee there looking pretty good at maths, better than the Queensland team. They were counting 14 still. Taniela counts for 2, surely.
Yeah, Marty, you'd look to see Victoria here too. I mean, left-hand side scrum, again, they had great success when they were direct, so it's hope to see that they've learnt from those lessons from the first half.
Well, looks like the abacus has come out and the numbers add up, so Queensland are playing with 14, New South Wales, Victoria with 15, which is the same as the scoreboard, as Kirk tries to gather his forwards. That's a good shove from Queensland, and they've won it. 7 on 8. Maybe Taniela does count for 2.
Yeah, certainly a big push there from Queensland too. To get the penalty there 5 minutes out, disappointing result for Victoria, but fantastic opportunity for Queensland too to relieve a bit of pressure.
Well, we're 3/4 through this game now, and Queensland are trailing by 1, but they are playing with 14 for the time being. And like I've mentioned a couple of times now, the line out hasn't been perfect from either side, so Victoria will fancy a steal here, and they get up, and they do. So here they go. Can Victoria turn the screws with an extra man on the field? Hart with a flat ball, and they're sitting deep here. Kearns is deep, and he uses a bit of footwork to skip past a couple of defenders from Queensland, but they've managed to steal at the breakdown. Queensland are up over halfway. Kirk goes in digging for the ball. He finds it, and he gets a call from out the back, and he looks like he was going to kick it long, Atkinson, but they decide to go out to the left, and that pass well above the head of Fluke, and he can't hold on. So Victoria with a knock-on advantage. Just over halfway. Good defensive line speed from Queensland.
Yeah, disappointing result there. You could see some space on this right-hand side for Victoria to attack down. Queensland quite narrow in their defensive line. Victoria just not quite good enough to get that recycle down in second phase.
As we see a couple of substitutions for Victoria. Faogali coming on for his first involvement this afternoon. A good shift there from Rooston, including a try early in the second half. So his afternoon looks to have come to an end. As Hunt feeds his scrum just over 10 minutes running. Another good shove from Queensland, but it's picked up off the back by Ado Kalia, and he's away. He's giving it to Hunt. Hunt's going for the corner. Great work from Victoria. Set up by Ado Kalia. Finished off by Hunt. And we'll see the replay here. The big number 8 from Victoria. Queensland got another good shove on at this scrum, and he noticed that and saw the opportunity, picked it up, ducked down the short side, drew in the defender, gave it to Hunt, and Hunt showed plenty of gas. He saw the try line, and he didn't need a second invitation. And that could be enough to break the spirit of the Queensland side with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, look, it might also kickstart them into gear, but you can just see a really simple mistake there where you put all your effort into the scrummaging and trying to push them off the ball, but your back row forgets to cover that short side, and just a really simple 8-9, and all of a sudden you've got a 2-on-1 on that winger who's dropping back for a potential kick or cover defence. So probably Queensland too need to be a little bit smarter in that field position, make sure that their flankers, whilst they're applying pressure to the scrum, then need to think about their second job, which is covering that space on the short side.
Yeah, great work from the number 8 there. Ado Kalia. The number 8's been very impressive from both sides so far this afternoon. Bruce Tavega with some strong runs for Queensland too, as Atkinson hits it sweetly from that far sideline, but unable to convert. So it's a 6-point game here. A dangerous number, Hendo.
Yeah, it's not something you really feel comfortable about for either team. I mean, Queensland too would definitely be backing themselves to run that sort of a gap down, and Victoria would not be feeling confident that's a winning lead. So this next sort of 10-minute block is really going to tell which side will bring it home.
Kirk gets us underway. Queensland still playing with 14 with Tumavave in the sin bin. shown yellow early on, but he might get ready to come back on soon by the looks of movement on the bench.
2 lead come.
So Queensland on the attack, trailing by 6 here with 10.5 to go. Kirk gets it out now to Dreu. Dreu with his first involvement of the afternoon. The fly half, and they pinched a turnover at the breakdown. Great work from Victoria. And they've come out big when they've needed to this afternoon, Victoria, Hendo.
Yeah, opportunities like that don't come, so you've got to be quite quick on the football. Young Monson there, just be able to get on that outside shoulder of the ball carrier, just to slow the ball down initially, but then also once there was no clean out there, arriving player, all rights to hold onto the footy and get the penalty. I mean, Queensland need to be better there at resourcing that breakdown and getting there quicker.
So we do tick over into the final 10 minutes of this one. Oh, and they've lost the line out again, Victoria. Real issues at the line out for them this afternoon, and Queensland too, to be fair, as Kirk gets the ball away quickly. They might find numbers out in Queensland too if they can move the ball. And here it is. It's in the hands of Joshua Flook. He's into the backfield. No one's going to stop Josh Flook. He's going to run it around under the posts. Fantastic work there from Joshua Flook. And he's given his side a chance to hit the lead with 10 minutes to go. And again, Hendo, it's the line-out issues that are causing troubles for Victoria.
100%, Marty. And you've just got to be good enough there to win your line-out ball, and you've got to be good enough there to identify space and throw to it. Unfortunately, we see simple turnover from the front of the line-out, shift the ball to width. I mean, when you've got the space and the feet of young Joshua Flook there, I mean, once you get in behind that defensive line, no one's really going to catch him. Yeah,
Dreu did very well there too, and what an offload that is. Yep. From William McPherson, I think it was, going to ground, one arm.
Yes,
and like you said, Hendo, Flook with speed and agility, great movement, great footwork. We've seen him in open space a couple of times this afternoon, and he's looked dangerous every time. And the awareness too to run the ball around to give Atkinson a chance to put his side in front for the first time.
Yeah, some fantastic sets of hands there to get the football to space. Really could have actually shut down there in midfield, but Queensland too were just good enough to keep the ball alive and keep shifting it. So some really smart footy, but also some really good skills on show there.
And he does out the extras, Atkinson. Now producer Blake here had him at $1.01 to knock that one over. He had the mouse on the plus button, ready to add the extras. So there we have it. Queensland 2, 21-20, scoring while they were a man down as well. So now we'll see what Victoria's made of. They've been in front for 52 minutes. And now they trail by 1. As they kick again to that far right corner. And the try scorer, Flook, crashes it up. He's been phenomenal this afternoon. And they counter-ruck really well here, Victoria. And they've won it back. Carter gets it out from the back of the ruck. Victoria now desperate. As Tavega takes it up to the 22. Queensland looking to slow the ball down here for the Victorians, and it's been a big game too for Canine. He's been good, the number 5 for Victoria. And they've been pinned again in this area. The referee might find his card again here. And is it Timavave again?
Look, we've already had one in the bin. Yeah. And every time we're getting to this area when you guys are under pressure, we're giving away penalties, okay?
Is there anything in particular or just?
We're getting especially the ruck. We need to listen out to the ruck, okay?
Yeah.
We've already had one. I'm not afraid to put another one in the bin.
Yeah.
Pass that message on, thanks.
Wait, forward.
There you go, the ref just explaining there to Josh Flook exactly what he's thinking, and I think he's got every right there, the referees. They've been particularly good slowing the ball down inside the attacking half of Victoria.
Yeah, it's just identifying those opportunities there and listening to the referee when they're not on. Obviously, some really clear instruction there from the ref, so you'd hope that next time either team in that position of the field make the same mistake, you won't be afraid to go.
No, we're back on now.
Yeah, he's definitely not scared. And here, an interesting choice, and no doubt the smart one from Victoria. They're looking to add the extra 3 to go back in front. It's going to be Haloti Whanua with the opportunity to put Victoria back in front. And we saw Blake put Queensland at $1.01. Your thoughts here, Hender?
Yeah, look, mate, Haloti's a good kicker, mate. He should be able to knock this over. But it's all about putting scoreboard pressure on the opposition. So Queensland have just, scored down there and got in front by that 1 point lead. For us to now take that back, it just puts pressure back on the opposition, start thinking about what's next for them. So for us, it's now a chance to exit cleanly and get down to the Queensland 250. For Queensland 2, it's to get the ball back here and put some pressure on this attacking 50.
And he's nailed that one. Whanua. Been nearly perfect off the boot this afternoon, and we thought we might get a contest 15 minutes ago, and we've got one. It's 5 minutes to go, and Victoria ahead by just 2 points. As William Kirk will look to put this one up for a contest, but I don't know if it's going to make the 10. It doesn't make the 10. So it's fallen 2 metres short.
A really important kick there for Queensland too. I mean, it's relieving pressure now for Victoria to have a midfield scrum. Great opportunity there for Queensland too to put pressure on Victoria and force mistakes. However, it's, that chance is now gone. So Queensland 2 now need to defend, from a midfield scrum and hopefully force a turnover so they get that football back.
The last couple of red scrums, or Queensland 2, scrums have been very impressive. Impressive shove, so it'll take another strong one here from Victoria to keep it, and they haven't managed to. Queensland 2 have turned it over at the scrum. So here you go, Queensland 2. Big clean out from Queensland there as they rumble up the middle. Kirk. Oh, and that ball's gone to right out the back as they look for space, and puts it in behind. Picked up there by Whanua, and he puts it on the toe. It's not out. They've got to play at it. Oh, and a show and go there. Dummy inside, he tries to take on Hunt. And the ball's gone backwards. And he takes it back up the middle there through Tuisamoa. Kirk now. Gets it out to a barnstorming Geraghty. Kirk decides to come back towards this short side, and taking it up is Zachary Crothers. Oh, and a great ball there, great short ball. Forwards linking together, and they're into the backfield, and it's been knocked on by Queensland at the breakdown. Fantastic pass there from Geraghty. As we show you a replay of Pona trying to take on Hunt and flick pass back inside.
Yeah, fantastic work there from Pona to keep that ball in field, and you sort of got the impression there, Marty, that Queensland were building towards something. Certainly putting some pressure on, so relieving knock on there for Victoria, but Queensland 2 are looking really dangerous in these last 3 minutes.
Yeah, they seem to have found their stride, especially in the second half. Queensland 2. And it was a great pass from Geraghty to Harrison Fox, I think it was, steaming onto it. And it was a great defensive tackle from the last line of defence in Victoria. Otherwise, it was a 5-point run of the sticks.
Yeah, you'd have to think now, Marty, based on Queensland 2's recent history in scrummaging, that they've forced a number of turnovers, that Victoria would be thinking the heat's going to be on them. So Queensland 2 an opportunity to turn this ball over and attack from midfield. For Victoria, they've got to be good enough now to cleanly get this ball to the number 8's feet so they can exit.
We're about to find out. A couple of players bashed and bruised in this one. It's been very physical up through the middle. It's going to be Hunt to feed it. He's played the whole match, the Victorian scrum half. There it is, another big shot from Queensland 2. And the referees pinned them for walking around, and a couple of questions there from the Queensland scrum half, William Kirk, but that's the decision from the referee. And a massive kick here for Kearns. He's got to find the touch.
As we know, Marty, the Victorian line out.
I don't know if he has. Oh, he just finds the touch. And as you were saying, Hender.
Oh, I was just saying, Marty, that the Victorian line out hasn't functioned that well today. So again, Queensland see another opportunity here to get the football back. So Victoria have to be you know, patient enough and back themselves here to get this football so we can exit.
It's going to be Charlie Carter to throw it in right in front of us here, and he goes deep. Brave throw there from Charlie Carter, given their recent line-out history, and crushed up through the middle by Tuipolotu, who's does a 360 nearly and ends up coming back towards us here on this broadcast side. And Victoria just need a little bit of composure here as they look to close out this game. And great ball on the outside and buttering the touch there. Fungatua. It was a big tackle. I think it came from Hetaraka. But an interesting choice there from Victoria to try and play it down the touchline. Very, very noisy out there on the field as Tuilagi comes on. Clean win there at the line out from Queensland 2. It's been rare this afternoon. And the ball's gone to the decks. As Queensland 2 are desperate as the clock counts down to the end of this one.
No impact.
Looking to counter-up here, Victoria. They might have forced a turnover, they have. So Victoria, they try to ice it. They kick it into touch. But the referee hasn't.
No, that's not the right time, I just told you.
The referee says that's not the right time. Victoria thought they'd won it.
1.5.
You know, they got a bit excited there and thought the siren had gone, kicked the ball into touch, just allowing Queensland 2 the one more opportunity.
Up by 2, Queensland 2, they go to the back of the line. It's thrown over and Victoria look to collect it. I think it's been knocked on by Victoria, and it has. So the referee just explaining there, there's 1 minute to go. I think the ground hooter did go off about 2 minutes to go, but the referee explained it to the players, but Victoria didn't get the message, obviously.
No, it's very clear that wasn't time being called, so Victoria have just gone a bit early there.
So this might just be the last opportunity for Queensland 2. We've seen today they can go the distance, so Kirk gets it out. They come out this side. They'll be looking to get the ball in the hands of Joshua Flock, no doubt. He's been phenomenal for them. There he is, taking the ground just outside the 22, and they're going to have to go 100.
Lost, Blue, lost.
As Kerr comes back towards centre field. Oh, big tackles there. And another good tackle there from Canham, who's been huge. The lock, and there they have it. A turnover of the breakdown. They've been very, very good in that area this afternoon, Victoria. And the referee's explaining to them a kick out here will be the end. So full time, and Victoria have come away with a 2-point win over Queensland 2, 23-21. The lead changing hands 3 times in the final 15 minutes. Hendo, what a game of footy.
Yeah, what a thrilling match. I mean, you know, really hotly contested at the breakdown there, and you saw great opportunities created off the back of turnover at the breakdown, and probably also some fantastic counter-attack opportunities that were